Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Dismondy. I am the publisher of Cardinal Rule Press, and we are going live today with Alexa Bigwarfe, and she will be tuning in any second now. So Alexa today is going to talk about a really great topic. She's talking about looking beyond Amazon in the publishing industry. So several of you have reached out to me and you've asked questions like, oh, tell me more about publishing with Amazon. So she's going to kind of talk to you and explore other options because not everyone uses Amazon as a publisher. So as soon as she gets on here, we will go live and we will be talking for about 15 minutes. Now, Alexa is the publisher at Write, Publish, Sell, and in her organization, in her company, their mission is to help authors navigate the world of publishing so that they can focus on creating those masterpieces. So Alexa goes ahead and she takes out a lot of the legwork for you in the publishing process so that you can help your masterpiece come alive. I think she's here. Hang on. Hello. Okay. Alexa, are you here? There she is. All right. And so everyone who is tuning in right now, I would love for you to comment below and let us know, where are you tuning in from? Are you in Michigan? Here she is.
Hey.
Alexa, where are you tuning in from? Can you tell everyone where you're at?
I am in Columbia, South Carolina, and whoa, the lighting is really bad in this room.
I can see you. I can see you. Welcome. And so live viewers, welcome. We would love for you to click on the little heart or the like to let us know that you're there, that you're listening, and you can comment below to tell us where you're tuning in from. So Alexis, let's get started. Without further ado, I gave a little background about your mission, about your company. Do you have anything else to share about Write, Publish, Sell?
Oh, well, I wish that I had seen that so that I knew what you said.
No, it's like, I shared the mission. I shared the company's mission, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the types of books that you publish and the authors you've worked with so far.
Absolutely. So I have a mission basically it was kind of funny as I was looking at your page and it says you're empowering children. I am doing the same message empowering women. So we like to help women who have stories of transformation or inspiration or overcoming loss, overcoming grief, self-help, business books if they have something. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get this thing to sit here without falling over. Okay. All those types of stories.
Alexa, I don't know if you can see who's tuning in, but NJ's totally in the house right now.
I see NJ. Hey, girl. Yay.
All right. So continue on.
No, so just those, so empowering women who have a message or something important to share. So we love to do women's nonfiction, and we might, I don't know, I have to, I'm going to never mind not talk about that yet, but just maybe some fiction in the future. I'm working on a fiction book myself that I would love to include, but yeah. That's it.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to share our interview to a couple other pages right now, but I would love for you to jump into the whole topic of today is taking a look beyond Amazon in the publishing industry.
Absolutely. I'm going to adjust the volume here real quick and see if that can help before I get going, because I'll probably knock my camera over again. First of all, small disclaimer, when we scheduled this, I did not realize it was a half day at school. So I fully expect my 5-year-old to make a cameo at any moment, because if I'm on a live, she feels that she needs to be on it too.
And I forgot I'm babysitting my friend's baby, so I remember.
This is going to be moms in action right here. Okay.
That's how you get done.
Exactly. And okay, so here's the deal. A lot of times, and I include myself in this, because I feel like I am like maybe 2 steps ahead of, maybe 3 steps ahead, depending on where you are, most people that I start to work with. Like, I've done this a few times, published several of my own books, published books for lots of other people, but I'm still learning. This industry changes so much. I'm learning. So I love to share as I learn. But one of the things, and like I said, I include myself in this, is that so many people think they can just publish on Amazon and KDP and they're totally good to go. I published my book. It's out there. I'm sorry, I've been watching Breaking Bad, and one of the characters says "yo" all the time, and now
Yo.
that's apparently in my vernacular today. But so they just think, okay, I've put my book out on Amazon. I am good to go. And not to say that that's not a strategy. You can absolutely only publish on Amazon. I've seen people kill it, but they also publish lots and lots of books. They do lots and lots of marketing. They have a whole strategy around it. So there's two kind of camps out there. The one is that you publish wide, and then the other one is that you just go deep on Amazon. So, you can do it, but there's a lot of other places. And if you want to see your book show up in local bookstores, in Barnes and Noble, in places like that, then you can't just publish on CreateSpace and go. Now, people are going to say, but Alexa, CreateSpace says they distribute to all these other places.
She's breaking a myth right now. Let's hear the truth.
Here is the truth. They say it, they don't do it. Okay. All right. What happens here is the real truth. What happens when you are distributed through CreateSpace is your book is available in theory. So if someone, hey, Tara.
That's awesome.
If someone was to go looking for your book in those places, they could maybe find it, but the real truth behind it is that small bookstores, in particular indie bookstores, absolutely will not order from CreateSpace. To them, Amazon is the death of the small bookstore, and they don't want to have anything to do with giving any money to Amazon or Amazon's partner businesses, and CreateSpace is directly owned by Amazon. So if your book is not published on Ingram Spark, you will not publish into an indie bookstore unless it's like the mom and pop store down the corner that's like, okay, you can bring in 10 copies and we'll sell them on consignment.
But let me interrupt you there. In
Sure.
order to get into those indie bookstores, you have to do the legwork. Like you would have
absolutely.
You would have to physically go into the store, and you wouldn't have anyone marketing for you. You wouldn't have anyone selling or pitching your product to those stores. You would literally have to do the deal yourself, do
Absolutely.
the invoicing yourself, and have the inventory. So back up real quick.
Sure.
You are saying that when you publish on CreateSpace, that the books do not get into Ingram Spark?
Okay, so it technically distributes the book to Ingram Spark, which if you choose the expanded distribution, if you ever decide to distribute into Ingram Spark, it causes a whole big mess and at least a month-long process to try and get it fixed, which I have information about that on my website. If anybody wants to go dig into that, I'm happy to provide that link. But basically, it's kind of this just crazy myth. They say that they expand to it. It's technically in the system, but Ingram Spark is not doing anything to push your books anywhere. It's just kind of in the database. And now
go ahead. I'm going to pause real quick, because what you're saying is people need to ask themselves the question, where do I want my book? Because
exactly.
if you're happy, you say, okay, I wanted to write this cookbook and I wanted to get it available. I want it to be available for my family to purchase. You could work with CreateSpace and you could get 25 copies.
Absolutely.
But if you care about your book being global, if you care about your book being in stores, you're saying this probably isn't the best route to go. So what would be your solution, Alexa?
Okay, so I'll get to the solution in a second,
Okay.
But just to say another thing, like if you have, for example, if you're overseas or if you have people in foreign countries that want to get your book, it's a lot easier for them to get it ordered also through Ingram Spark, because it has such a larger distribution arm and actual print facilities all around the world, which CreateSpace does not. So so the solution is, well, first of all, you go back to what you just said, what is the goal of your book? And I'm really upset because CreateSpace used to offer this thing called coupon codes. So for people who had a passion project, or like my first book was for grieving mothers, or if anybody into the hands of the people that needed it. So we provide it free to hospitals and bereavement groups. But I also wanted to be able to create a way for bereavement groups and people supporting labor and delivery and grief groups for them to be able to order it really cheaply too. So I would create coupon codes so that they could come in and basically order it at cost. Well, now CreateSpace is getting rid of that, so you have to do it all manually. You can still give it to them at cost, but it's a bigger pain. So anyway, all that to say, there, you know, if your goal is only to publish a book and to have it so that someone can order it from Amazon, yes, you only have to go that one place. If your goal is for someone to be able to walk into a Barnes and Noble and say, hey, my friend Alexa just published this book on writing and I really want to order it, can you get it in stock? And they go over to their little computer and doopy-doopy-doopy-doo, and they're like, sorry, it's not available for us to order if you're not on Ingram Spark. So most bookstores and retailers are not going back to CreateSpace to look. They're going through Ingram Spark because better
this
company,
is awesome
better distributor.
information. Awesome information. For those of you tuning in, if you haven't caught the whole interview, you're going to want to rewind and listen to the rebroadcast, because Alexa is like debunking these huge myths about Amazon CreateSpace. And hey, we love Amazon. We're not saying it's a bad place to be at all. Like, we know Amazon is a powerhouse, but we're saying we want you to be clear on what your goal is in publishing before you're working with certain companies. So for those of you tuning in, please comment below, maybe even click the little heart button to let us know if you have a passion project and you're getting ready to write something. We will definitely put the link to Alexa's company below. But Alexa, you're going to kind of move into our last part of the segment, like what would be the solution, right?
Yes. Okay. So here's the deal. If you if you just want to get on Amazon and that's your goal, and I mean, lots of people sell a lot of books just through Amazon. I know plenty of people that are just through Amazon and Kindle Direct. You can do it. Okay. But if you want to do these other things, if you want to be able to sell to the mom and pop retailers, you're going to make sure that when you publish, I always start with CreateSpace. For several reasons. They're super user-friendly and super easy to get your book uploaded and published. This gives you an opportunity kind of to get through all the kinks and make sure that everything's good to go. Ingram Spark is a bit more difficult. They have some different templates. They have some more different requirements. And they're, quite honestly, because they like to have a really good quality product, it's a little bit more difficult to get through it. You have to know how to do retailer discount prices. You have to, by the way, I'm about to publish a tutorial on how to upload and publish your book through Ingram Spark, because it is quite a bit different and confusing. You have to know how to set the prices globally. It doesn't just configure it like CreateSpace does and all that stuff. So the short answer is, when you publish through CreateSpace, to work out all the kinks, you will come to a page where it asks you how you want to distribute it. You select yes to Amazon, yes to Amazon Global, yes to the CreateSpace store, and do not be tempted to click on the distribution to online stores and retailers. Because if you do that, then it's going to make your life a whole lot harder when you go into Ingram Spark, because technically you've just distributed yourself to Ingram Spark, so they already see your ISBN in the system. Now, to back up just a little bit, and I'm sorry, I know this is a lot of Greek words for people who've never even published a book or tried to publish a book, but your ISBN is that little barcode on the back of your book that tells people all the data that they need to know about your book, right? Don't use the free one. There you go. There's your ISBN. It's usually between 10 and 13 numbers, contains all the metadata about your book, and you need to purchase one. You do not ever want to use the free one from CreateSpace. This totally limits you in ever going anywhere else. So, so now Ingram Spark is not...
But I got to tell you, listening to this, there's going to be some people who say, I don't want to do this. This sounds like a lot of work. Like, Alexa, does your company actually offer a service where people come to you and like do? Well, I think it's important. I think you should share that, because some people are like, I want to get a book out there, but I would rather pay somebody like what you're talking about right now. I don't want to deal with that. Like, that's right. So what would your company offer, like consulting services and helping someone do this?
We do. Write, Publish, Sell is my business, and we like to offer what I call kind of soup to nuts author support services. I'm sorry, I have children in the background and it's distracting me. So you can basically come in at any point in time in your publishing process and we can help you there. We offer please answer the door. We offer a publishing package where you can come in with your finished manuscript, and we'll do all the rest of the work for you, getting it where it needs to be placed, making sure it has the proper ISBN, doing all that kind of stuff. So yes, we do that. We do all kinds of other stuff, author coaching through the whole process. And then I do have a publishing house too for someone who wants to publish under a hybrid I don't know, I just did air quotes around that, but under a hybrid publisher.
Well, because we started off talking self-publishing, but if somebody would like to submit their book to you, you're saying you have the more of a traditional route that you can take.
Exactly.
And you know, I think people would have to learn the hard way had they not heard you in this interview. And Alexa just actually got bumped off on accident, but this I think is probably a good time to wrap things up for those of you listening. So if you are just tuning in, you're going to want to rewind to the rebroadcast, because Alexa really takes a huge myth in publishing with Amazon, and she debunks it, and she tells you how you can work through some of the trajectories, like some of the hard, some of the hurdles of publishing with Amazon. Because are we saying don't publish with Amazon? Absolutely not. But we're saying be clear on what your goal is in publishing. If you want to be out there at the bookstores, then you're going to want to make sure that you listen to this video and that you set yourself up correctly in Amazon's Create Space so that you are available in the Ingram Spark distribution so that you can be in bookstores. So it's a little bit, I don't know if this is going over your head. Like we said, if you don't know the publishing lingo, then you can also go to Alexa's website, Write, Publish, Sell, to learn more. She has a lot of education on there for self-published authors. She also has a publishing company. So if this is something that you think, I would just like to, maybe she would publish my book, you could also submit your manuscript to her company. So thank you, everyone. And you know what? Tune in next week, because next week we have publisher Madeline Smoot with Seabay Books. And what is she talking about? 4 things every project needs to get accepted. 4 things every project needs. So what I love about Madeline is not only is she a publisher, but she worked for years as an editor, and so she was reading manuscripts at an agency, and so at a publisher. And so she was going through those piles and piles of manuscripts and helping to choose and select books. So that will be next week on Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everyone, and we hope you have a really great day.